You're about to listen to TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
Hello, Internet.
Hello!
And welcome to another TADPOG podcast, where three very, very old teens with attitude, because that's what Zordon asked for when he wanted to pick his Power Rangers. Was teens
He asked for teens with attitude?
Teens with attitude.
Why not just like badass teens or like teens that would be good fighting the forces of evil?
Why not
Smelly
Why not
teens.
Navy SEAls? Why not grown ass men? You know.
Well, I mean, I have theories
Skilled
about
men and
Zordon.
women.
Zordon's not allowed to go near elementary school.
Even Ivan Ooze is like, is he still doing that?
Yeah, Zordon has to go door to door whenever he moves to a new neighborhood.
That's why he lives in the fucking mountains. No one's within 10 miles of here. I'm going to do shit. I built my robot friend. He finds teenagers for me.
Even teens, like, I don't know, teens with attitude seems like even if like out of all the subsects of teens, the teens with attitude, if you're an old spaceman, is probably not what you want to deal with. They're not teens with attitude. The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers are not, because they're always like eager to like help and like do good.
Yeah, they don't have attitude.
They don't have attitude
ever
at all.
talk back.
Yeah. Not once did they talk back to Zordon, as far as I know.
Make them racially diverse, but it could also be a sign of color and bring it to me.
Right. Should they know what color the
And they
person is
they
based
already-
on the suit? Oh, yes, of course.
And they already wear that color anyway. It's like their favorite. That's their thing.
That's
anyway.
your favorite color. Should the girl be pink?
Absolutely.
Yes.
What other color could she be besides
A
yellow?
white girl? Yes.
A white girl who likes pink. Covered.
Is the green one going to be white or what?
Do we already have a black one? Yeah, it's fine. Whatever. So today we're talking about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Fighting Edition. Wrapping up the last of our 4-part Power Rangers Super
We're
Nintendo
done.
series.
Done with Power Rangers. It's been a long, crazy journey.
It really has.
Hope you guys all have a good summer.
Lots of ups and
See you next
downs.
year.
What a long, crazy year it's been. Well, before we jump into that, you guys done anything in the past few days?
No, not really. Nothing I didn't already report on Tuesday or Monday, whatever day we were here last.
Yeah, it's only been like 2-3 days since we've seen each other.
Yeah. I mean, all I've done is go to work.
Yeah. I was hoping, because I had to go into work very, very early this morning to do the annual nurses breakfast. So I got off pretty early. So I came home, played this game, beat this game, and then had time before recording. And I was like, I'll stream a little more Hollow Knight. I was hoping so badly that I could come in and be like, beat it, did that thing. I got so heartbreakingly close multiple times, but did not do it. Did not do it. So maybe next week.
I mean, yeah, of course.
Because I did finally beat that boss that I put in hundreds of attempts in, but only in where you can go and practice on him. Otherwise, I have to beat him at the end of like a 10-boss gauntlet. So it's not. I wish it was like Super Meat Boy, where I just jump right back in and then.
Right.
But I have to do this whole gauntlet all over again and sort of reset where I'm at, and then it fucking sucks. I'm ready to be done with it.
It does sound awful.
I mean, I love this game. I love this game so much. It's the only Souls type game that I like. People say 2D Dark Souls, but it's the only game like that is like this that I fucking love and will keep going with. But I'm ready to move on.
Well, I hear that Hollow Knight is James Halliday's favorite side-scrolling game.
Everything's his favorite.
It is. I'm reading Ready Player 2, as I mentioned last week, and I'm almost done with it. I'm enjoying it, but the pop culture references are driving me crazy. We had a brief discussion about this earlier. before we started recording.
Yeah, because I had some questions. I had some Dark Tower questions.
You had some questions.
But are you officially done? You finished the book?
Went through the keyhole?
Oh, you finished the Dark Tower. Now you're on Went Through the Keyhole?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm on it. I started it. I'm taking a break.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm taking a break. Yeah.
That's DLC. It's good to be enjoyed later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I was like, man, I might enjoy this later.
Once it gets to the point where there's a point where Roland is telling a story. So it starts, I mentioned this before.
Right.
The book starts with him telling their quartet a story about another adventure that he went on after the events of Wizard and Glass. And then inside that story, he tells sort of a fairy tale to somebody in that story, and the fairy tale is my favorite part. The actual story, The Wind Through the Keyhole, is my favorite part of that book. And when it gets to that, it's really enjoyable, but it takes a little while to get there.
Yeah.
Everything else is just like a candy wrapper. It's just there because it has to be, you know.
I mean, and I don't have any big complaints about it or anything. It was just one of those where it's like I started it right after finishing Dark Tower 7, and the vibe is obviously completely different.
Well, because he reads it. Stephen King reads it.
Yeah.
And it's tough it takes him a little while to get into character.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have exactly the greatest speaking voice as it is. So
Yeah.
It's like trying to read Dunk and Egg after you read the Game of Thrones. You're all excited, and it's like, this doesn't feel the same.
Yeah, I'm glad I waited to like read it because I know some people suggest, it's book Wind of the Keyhole is like book 4.5 or whatever.
Nah.
So maybe you should read it after Wizard and Glass. I don't think I would have done that.
That would have been that would have been too much to take in all at once as far as
commercials?
The previous the previous book, and then another one similar to it in the way the story's being told.
Yeah.
Would be a lot.
It's just been nice, man, like listening to music.
Yeah.
And like cuz like now that cuz I loved the Dark Tower series in general. I thought it was very good. I was entertained. But like it took up my podcast time, it took up my music time.
Sure.
Like any listening time I had was pretty much dedicated to that. So it's been nice to be like, all right, I'm listening to music again. That feels good. I'm catching up on a few podcasts.
I'm doing the same thing actually. I've been listening to more music, and I've been listening to some podcasts as well. And I've been listening to Ready Player 2, but
right.
That one's going so fast. And sometimes, like I said, I can't deal with that right now, so music it is.
Right.
Yeah. But
I have like 4 books waiting for me as soon as I'm done.
What do you got waiting?
So, I know I need to... Let me pull up my Audible real quick. Because I know I want to go back... It came out a while ago. Defiant, which is the fourth book in the Starsight series, Brandon Sanderson.
Okay.
It's not Cosmere, which is his big overarching, all his books tie into a one universe, but it's still really, really, really good. I want to hit that. The third in the... No, don't download that right now. Just let me pull up the... So Sarah J. Maas, who is fantastic writer. I really like her stuff. I've read 2 other books. It's like the Central City Saga or something like that. It was super highly rated. Super, super, super highly rated. So I downloaded it. Was surprised. She also is the author of A Court of Thorn and Roses.
Oh, okay.
Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
Which is like fantasy porn.
really?
Oh yeah. Oh, and it's like it's all over. I get tons because I'm on fantasy TikTok a lot. Like I get hit with that, and it's like,
Did you say fancy TikTok?
fantasy.
Okay.
I'm on.
It's a TikTok
fancy
Plus
TikTok.
subscription service.
Yeah, is that like a super premium TikTok or like
$6.99 a month.
fancy TikTok? All right.
So it's very female forward, huge in female fantasy readers. But it is, I think that book is super porny. These are, I had no idea. So I was very surprised when I got to that point.
It's like normal, like Frodo puts his bag on and steps outside and starts blowing Gandalf. What the fuck?
Yep, because it
And then,
talks
like,
about
3
like
pages, like his veiny wizard dick slid gently.
Yep. Yep. Because it's like the city is ruled. I mean, humans are lesser citizens. There is like a human revolution going on fighting the powers that be, but they're not anywhere near strong
They're
enough.
too busy fucking to get shit
Yeah.
done.
So angels, fae, werewolves, all that are all own sections of the city and fight each other for power, yada yada yada. So it's like this girl who's half human, half fae, and it's pretty general. They describe her very sexy. She has like this archangel who's assigned to her.
They gonna fuck.
And then it gets real out there. Yeah.
They gonna fuck. I watch enough anime to know those two gonna fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, whenever she just like he has to like stay at her apartment and then out of the blue it's like I could see the outline of his throbbing cock and I was like, "Oh, it'd be like that then." And it was always like, "I have nothing against that." But
Right.
I do. And I'm like listening to it like while I'm cleaning the house.
Why have so many people bookmarked this part? I know you're listening on Audible, but like I know like some of the Kindle ones, I think you could see where people have highlighted and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't care for the porn stuff, but
Boo.
I know. It's weird for me to say that, but I want the other good fantasy stuff. That's why I'm there. I'm not there for the other stuff.
This porn sucks. It's like it was written for a woman or something.
Well, I hear
yes,
I hear it's James Halliday's favorite.
his favorite way to describe cunnilingus for 30 minutes.
All right, in order to get, I don't know what Ready Player 2 is about. Like I don't know if they're like hunting eggs or whatever, but like
More or less.
okay.
It's the same book.
In order to
with a
get this
different-
egg, you have to put a halo on and like come on a ferret's face.
You say that. You laugh.
Have you read any of the Dungeon Crawler Carl series?
I hear so much about it.
Yeah, I know
haven't.
Miller loves it, and McElwain loves it, and
McElwain.
Carpenter loves it.
One of the executives at work, he was like, have you read this Carl and Carl? I was like, no, I haven't, but I hear enough about it.
I've heard a lot about it too. I've thought about reading it, but then
What is it? I don't know what.
man, from the way it's been described, to me by Miller, it's essentially like a D&D game, like kind of put to life. And I say that, I don't know.
What's it called?
Dungeon Crawler Carl. Perhaps I should actually give you real information instead of trying to remember what I was told. It is a popular and addictive Dungeon Crawler Carl series by Matt Dinneman. Now with bonus material, it seems to me like, in the way it's been described to me, is it's very pulpy. A man, his ex-girlfriend's cat, a sadistic game show unlike anything in the universe, a dungeon crawl where survival depends on killing your prey in the most entertaining way possible.
I'm in.
Let's see. It looks like there are Goodreads has six books listed in the series. But yeah, I've heard a lot of people talk about it. It seems, from the things that I've heard, it seems maybe just a little too silly for me. But I don't know. I like silly things. I don't know.
That's peanut butter I don't always want in my chocolate of Dungeons and Dragons.
Right. Same. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'll
Scott
give it a
Pilgrim
shot. I don't
game
give a fuck.
Yeah.
Scott Pilgrim is as silly as I'm willing to get with D&D, and that was pretty tempered the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been playing Final Fantasy, if you can believe it. I got Bard level capped. So that's done. And I started leveling Warrior. I got that from 0 to 61. So tanking for the first time has been an adventure. I like the class a lot. I like the warrior job a lot.
Okay.
The reason I've been wanting to level a warrior for a long time, but they call it tankxiety because it's like a tank is, tank and a healer
High
are
fucking
like
pressure job.
pretty much, yeah, high pressure. But from what I've heard, it's like once you've got it though, it's like lower pressure than DPS because it's like, I don't know. I've had conversations with Zal about this, but I've had people tell me that for a lot of tanking, it's like, I don't know, man, just hold the aggro. Just don't let the things hit the other people, and it's like your job's done. But the problem that I have with it is that the tank dictates the tempo of like a run, and for me, who's only played DPS, I have not paid attention to the tempo of that run. Or it's always been, honestly, all of the dungeons that I've been in as a DPS job, as a DPS role has been like fucking go, 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 go. Because the tank is just like fucking running fast through the dungeon, pulling everything until they can't pull anymore. And then
It's very different from 11.
dude, it's crazy different than 11. It's funny because I was having a conversation with someone in 14 the other day where I was like, they mentioned, they said this out of nowhere, like we weren't talking about 11 or something, but they were like, I heard in Final Fantasy 11, ranged DPS would pull. And it's like, yeah, they would, and they would pull that one single mob back to 5
the back
5 or
line.
6. I can't remember. People waiting to struggle against it for 15 minutes.
Yep.
The object of Final
Hope they
Fantasy
peel
11.
it off the ranged
Yep.
DPS before it kills
Right.
them. If they even make it back to camp.
Yep, because the most efficient way to gain experience in 11 was to fight mobs that you could fucking barely defeat.
Right.
So yeah, it's super. It's 14's crazy different than 11 in that regard. Yeah, because you fight
Or pull a goblin who then drops a bomb and kills all of you.
right.
All of you.
Yeah, you got to stun it. Got to stun it, and it's in 11. It was like I remember discovering that you could stun it because like the game doesn't tell you that.
Yeah.
At least if it does, if there's like a little fucking Taru that's like, hey, if you hit a weapon, I can't remember what it is, but what weapon ability it was, you can stun a goblin and it'll drop the bomb. It's just a thing that, I don't know, man. It was like playground rules, I feel like. So much I learned about 11 just from like random people I never saw ever again.
Yeah, this is the Valkyrie Dunes. This is where you're supposed to level. You can barely beat these goblins, but there are bogeys there which you cannot touch till the end of the game, and they'll just pop up and kill everything around. Then you all lose a punch of your experience that you just gained,
And the ghouls too, because
Yeah.
there were ghouls on the Valkyrie Dunes as well. They were ghouls, right? They were like that or magic skulls, or that was what you got from the ghoul.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yep.
I love that game, man. And I got to be honest with you, like there is a part of me that is like, man, I might be down to play some of that old school Final Fantasy 11 where it's like that. But
If it were
it's-
free, I would probably try it again.
Yeah. I don't know that they'll ever be free. I
But-
mean, maybe, but it's been pay for this long.
For
you
the
know?
cost of Hulu, it's like no, make it like $5 a month, and okay, maybe.
Yeah, that's pretty tempting. But yeah, I wanted to level warrior in 14 because like, man, I have been in groups where it's like the whole party dies and it's just the warrior and he's like, hold my beer, and solos the fucking boss.
Right.
And it's like, okay, that seems like a good job to play as. I mean, it took a long time, and like I guess the two other party members might have been annoyed, but I was in awe where it's like this motherfucker's like for real soloing this boss. It's taken 5 times the amount of time it would if we all razzed and came back, but still pretty impressive. So yeah, that's going all right. I've had some real rough runs, but I mean, I don't know. I guess that's the way you learn.
I get it.
And then I've been leveling Blue Mage. I got Blue Mage to level cap. That's a limited job. So it is, what that means is that you can't go into dungeons with like a regular group. And they also,
That sucks.
you can do it, but you have to like do it a special way. Like you have to change whenever you enter a dungeon, you can change default settings if you want to. And it just kind of makes it so that you can't do like Final Fantasy 14 has like roulettes daily that reset daily. And the roulettes are like, for example, level 90 dungeon is one roulette. You select that, you hit join, and then the game randomly chooses a level 90 dungeon and pairs you with 3 other people or whoever, if you don't have a party already. They pair you up with the people necessary to run that random dungeon.
Oh, you don't sit there looking for group for 12 hours. You can just find a group.
No, yeah, they've got it's a pretty good queue system. I mean, it's DPS, you still kind of wait, but I mean, the longest, I don't know, I shouldn't say the longest I've waited is 20 minutes, but like average wait time for me on a DPS has been like, I don't know, probably 15 minutes. But like tanks and healers, they queue not instantly, but like under 5 minutes.
It's funny how similar it is to Overwatch because
Yeah.
you can queue as tank support or damage.
Right, yeah.
And there's 2 damage slots and 2 support slots and 1 tank slot. And if you queue strictly for damage, you're waiting the longest.
Yeah.
But if you queue either all roles or support and tank, which is effectively queuing for all roles because 1 in 30 you might get DPS, but generally it's support.
Right. Yeah.
And
That makes
because no one
sense.
wants to
No one
play
wants to
fucking
play it.
support.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so I've gotten really good at support because I generally just want to play.
Right.
Last night, John and I were playing Overwatch together, and we decided to both of us queue up for damage. And yeah, we waited probably 10 minutes, which in an Overwatch queue, that's a long
That's a
time
long
because there's
time,
nothing to
yeah.
do.
Right.
I mean, you can fuck around in the
At least in Final Fantasy, you could fish and craft and shit.
Yeah,
yeah,
do
you
other
could
stuff
fuck
like that.
around in the practice range and do a skirmish where people keep dropping in and out, and they all just stand around and wave at one another,
Right.
So it's just funny how everyone wants to be damaged in every game,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it also feels like in a lot of games, I mean, I was going to say, most of your options are DPS, it seems like. I don't know how it is. I don't know what the ratio is.
DPS there are as many DPS characters in Overwatch 2 as there are tank and support combined. In fact, I think there are more DPS than tank and support combined. And I mean, honestly, half the time I queue for support or tank because, first of all, Diva's my quote-unquote main, and she's a tank.
Yeah.
But a lot of times I just get dropped into support. And frankly, I don't mind because I consider myself good at support. And that so rarely happens where if I queue for DPS or tank, 9 times out, I'd say 6 times out of 10, the support we get is someone who isn't good at support and just queued for all roles because they wanted to just get in.
Yeah.
And so it affects the game, and especially in comp where your rank is affected by your win or loss or whatever, and then you've got a kind of a bad support or two, then it fucks everything up. So yeah, I only brought that up because it just was funny how you said that's exactly the way it is in Overwatch. Yeah. It's just like that in everything where there's roles to be played specific.
Yeah, I think it's because, I mean, I started playing in Final Fantasy as DPS because to me it felt like, first of all, there's another DPS. So I'm not going to my role is going to be shared with somebody else. If I'm starting out, that's nice to have someone who can carry.
Back up. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And just be like, yo, I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm going to take the job that I feel like has the least responsibility. But I mean, in higher level gameplay, it's incredibly important because
It
it's
is,
like
yeah.
bosses are on timers, and it's like if you don't meet that DPS check, then there's an insta kill, you know. So, but yeah, Blue Mage. Been doing Warrior. Been doing Blue Mage. Blue Mage leveling it was super easy. Zal helped me with that and taught me a trick, a really weird trick. With one weird trick, level your warrior to
Doctor.
80.
Designers hate him.
Designers hate this trick. These are the tricks the designers don't want you to know.
But yeah, getting it to level cap was easy. The hard part is collecting all the spells, and it's like there are so many of them. I don't know exactly how many there are. My guess is like 200 some odd. And I've collected all the ones you can get in the overworld, but like the ones that are hard are like you have to go into a raid or a dungeon, and that just is, I don't know. You can solo it, but when you solo it, the chance of getting the spell lowers drastically. So what they want you to do is kind of coordinate with other people, and it's like I don't really want to do that unless it's people that, because I'm learning, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like I can hop in the party
And
finder.
people are jerks.
Blue Mage diff.
They're usually not too bad in Final Fantasy. It's, I don't know. I'm not saying Final Fantasy doesn't have its toxic players. It definitely does, but like it's a lot. I see toxicity a lot less in that game than I did like in WoW for sure.
Yeah, right.
And you know, Overwatch. I hate to bring Overwatch up, but
It's a terribly toxic. I have chat off.
yeah,
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear what anyone has to say. I'm sure people are talking trash left and right about me.
Yeah.
For one way or the other, but I don't want to know about it because
Same.
I don't respond well. I don't have the ability to just let it roll over me. I almost feel obligated to respond and
Right.
be trolled.
Right,
And
I know.
I don't like that. Plus now Blizzard is getting real heavy-handed with their band hammer.
Yeah.
And shit like being toxic and saying bad language and racial slurs, and they're getting real strict about that because they've implemented this whole system of banning people for different offenses and this whole tier of how bans happen, and if you're caught using a Zim device type of thing, you know.
Right, I remember you mentioning that.
Apparently the large portion of the top 500 in console were banned because they were all zimming. And so one guy said, I went to bed diamond and woke up top 500 because everyone in front of him had been banned. And he was like number one in the world or in that region because they went through and just ban-hammered everyone that was zimming. And it turns out that most of the top 500 players in the console pool were zimming. And it went hard. There's a whole subreddit called Zim that they were in there trash talking all the time. They're not serious. They're not really going to ban us. They're just making empty threats again. And then there was a thread that came on my news feed that said like 8 of the fucking main mods and players from the Zim Overwatch players from the Zim subreddit were actually fucking banned. And it's just they weren't kidding. They were said, we know you're doing it. We figured out how to tell you're doing it. We're gonna fucking ban you if you don't stop doing it.
This isn't Barry Bonds, Mark McGuire era baseball where you can just roll it out and get away with it.
They did not realize that Blizzard was being fucking serious. Because, it was funny. That one guy was like, I'm top 500. And that happened while I was asleep. So I thought that was funny.
That's like wishing to have the biggest penis in the world and everybody else's penis gets smaller.
That's exactly. The toxicity, though, going back to that, it's Overwatch's community has been toxic since day one. even when it wasn't free to play.
Yeah.
But as soon as Overwatch 2 came out and it was free to play, it just became a wasteland
Do you remember
of
how
just
toxic
garbage people.
Multiverses was?
Yes. Which is the main reason I'm not going to play it when it re-releases soon. I'm not going to get in it because I can't do it.
It brought me back to the old fucking Xbox 360 days where it's like I would play somebody on Street Fighter 5 and it doesn't matter if I did good or bad.
Yes.
I would get a message from the opponent like through the Xbox, like I get an Xbox message that would say something.
Yeah.
Like just
Something awful.
something awful. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I played really well or really
If you were really good, you were cheating. And if you were really bad, you fucking suck. Just eat it, loser.
It's so fucking like, I don't know, man. It's just, it's funny, but it also is real shitty, you know?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, Hollow Knight does make myself feel bad. No one else has to.
Well, that's usually the thing, man, is like, especially in multiverses where it's like trying out a new character or something. It's like, I already feel bad that like I'm got like a team
Whoever
member
you're
who's
with
like, what are you
is-
doing? You know, like they're not saying that, but I imagine they're thinking.
I would be that way. What are you doing? And then I would be like, they're probably
They're learning.
learning.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
I'm learning.
Yeah. Multiverses was bad. It was a bad time.
There's a in Final
Disguised
Fantasy.
as a good time.
Yeah, I mean, I had some good times.
I
had some
liked
good
the
times.
game. I really liked the game, but yeah, it was like every Rick and Morty fan was who played that game, and then they were just waiting for Rick and Morty to
come out.
Yeah,
In Final Fantasy 14, you get a little, if you're under a certain level or have not spent a certain amount of time in the game, you have a little sprout that shows up next to your name. And mine is gone, but I wish it was still there because people tend to be very kind to the sprouts, you know, and understanding to the sprouts. Me tanking without a sprout sucks because I'm like, we get in, I'm like, I'm new.
I'm a medium sprout. I'm an Ivysaur.
my sprout just went away. My
Not a
sprout just went
Venusaur.
away.
I'm an Ivysaur.
Or it's like, and there are so many dungeons too, where it's like, if I queue for one in roulette, it's like, there's a good chance that I'm going to get one that I've run before as DPS, but like have not tanked. Like I ran one with Grim today where it was like, dude, I think I ran this one once as a DPS 2 years ago. It was rough. Yeah, it was rough. But
Well, Ian, you had some things that you'd posted in the Discord.
I did. I
discuss.
put out a call for our fans on Discord, bit.ly/TADPOG Discord if you'd like to get in on the discussion.
the Discordians.
The Discordians of among us.
Discordia.
It's official. Requesting to
I hear you very well.
we always do drafts, and I thought it would be fun if we reached out and said, "Hey, everyone on Discord, why don't you draft your 5 favorite TADPOG episodes?" And the rules were maximum of 5 with a maximum of 2 honorable mentions. I just put this out Tuesday and have had quite a bit of feedback. So I thought I'd read through some of them and we could discuss a little. There's actually too many to go through in one shot. If we weren't doing a game, I'd say we could probably just focus on it and get through it. So we will get to these, but we're just going to go in order of what we received from who and talk about it. And then just in case you didn't know, I also put Dave and I put 2 forums out. We put one for submissions, which is what we're doing today. And these are your drafts, your stuff that you want to draft. If I put the call out there, or one of us puts the call out there, these are the answers we're looking for to read on the show. The other one is draft ideas, which we've done before, but we usually do it as a poll or an email or some kind of inconvenient way. This time, now you can throw your draft ideas onto this channel, and eventually we will try to get to them as we go through this long and arduous process of producing a podcast. However,
If you're not on the O Discordia, bit.ly/TADPOG podcast.
TADPOG Discord.
If you're not, you're forgotten the face of your father.
So, our first submission came in. The very first one that came in behind my announcement in the channel was from Sketch Romancer JJ.
Haven't heard from JJ in a minute. Glad he's looking.
He posted a one-page RPG on our Discord as well. So that's another reason to join the Discord. I know I'm pushing the Discord really hard, but, but for real, he posted one and it looked really cool. It looked like a VHS horror style.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't see that. I'll have to check that out.
It looked neat as hell.
I have a bad habit of looking at podcast discussion, film and TV, and general, and then I forget to check all the others. So I miss a lot of stuff. So anyway, Sketch Romancer's list starts with episode. Now, a lot of these are going to be episodes that I was not on because these are from back before I started.
There are 500 odd episodes.
Right.
Yeah.
Before I got here. And so I might be a guest on some of them, but most of these I may not have memory of, so you two are going to have to fill in the blanks for me.
We might not be able to do that either.
I probably won't be able to, but I'll try.
So I guess we're going in order from most favorite to, highest to lowest, I guess, is the way this it is not specified. The first one from Sketch Romancer JJ is episode 367, Gunstar Heroes. His comment was, "It was a nostalgic game I played with my brother, and it was nice to hear memories of others playing co-op."
I remember recording that one in Ryan's upstairs.
Oh, yeah.
The TADPOG high rise.
Was that one? I wasn't on that one.
No.
No, we
But
had a
I
blast with that.
did do a couple of guest spots in the high rise.
In the high rise.
Because I remember that room.
Gunstar Heroes is an awesome game.
And I just love that my grandmother randomly had it. Otherwise, I never would have played it, knew what it was, anything.
Yeah. Yeah,
She
man.
bought it out of a basket in a yard sale.
Next,
That is a good random one to have.
yeah,
Sorry.
no, good, no worries. Next up, episode 483, Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Funny talk about the Castlevania series.
It's a two-parter. I think Paul's on one, Kyle's on the other.
Yeah, I forgot that we did that as a two-parter. It deserves it.
Yep.
Episode 495 to 497, Suikoden. I remember listening to these.
Yeah.
Tyler talking so passionately about the game and its sequel, and I remember Dave playing it and you guys having very long discussions about it. But I found them interesting. The game talk there was really good, and it got me thinking, do I want to play it? And then I realized, no, I don't. But it was nice. I don't have to play it because I learned everything I needed to know about Suikoden from you two. So that's a service that was provided.
Do you have, when's Ayuden Chronicles comes out like now, right?
It's out. Chris, I kickstarted that. Got an email that my credit card had expired. I needed to update it to get it. Didn't see that email. So
man.
I missed it. Thankfully, thank you, Big Dick Pie Baker Chris
His
Vaughn
Switch
had an
copy.
extra Switch copy and gave it to me.
Nice.
But
Chris
so
coming
I
in
want to figure out
clutch.
how there's more steps. So I want to figure out how to stream that from
Yeah.
the Switch. But fun fact, Suikoden was the last game we did before we conjured our own dark
Killed
god.
that woman. Oh.
Yeah, that was part of it.
Oh, oops.
The before we spawn the randomizer. Oh,
Yeah.
we
Was it
haven't
really?
we haven't visited the randomizer in a while.
We've got a mini randomizer.
We've got a
right now.
mini randomizer running now for our film game series that we've been on.
Son of randomizer.
I've been getting a lot of good feedback about the film game series from
I like
friends and random people on Discord.
I mean,
I'm
I think it's a good
enjoying it a
format.
lot. I'm enjoying it a lot.
I'm not looking forward to when we run out of movie games.
Well, we'll make it work. We can do this.
Yeah.
Next on Sketch Romancer JJ's list, episode 552, Revolution X. The game about Aerosmith leading a rock revolution had me dying laughing.
Yeah, it's a bad game.
It is a bad game.
It's a bad game that I liked as a kid.
Yeah.
In the arcade, I didn't play it on
The arcade one I remember playing.
But I liked the arcade version as a kid.
This is one of the few Super Scope games, right?
You would think.
I think it said it was, and it wasn't, or something.
Or did it? Is it?
I didn't play it on.
Or maybe it was mouse compatible. It was there was something where it was.
Yeah, don't get me
and we
lying.
couldn't get it
It's
to
been
work.
a long time. I don't recall playing it with the Super Scope, but
You couldn't zim with it.
you couldn't see.
Next up and last on
band all Zimmers.
all Super Scope Zimmers. Last on Sketch Romancer JJ's list is episode 609, Pocky and Rocky.
Hell yeah.
He says, I'm glad.
yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm glad others shared in the frustration of how difficult that game was. And I also really love, and I guess as his honorable mention, he puts, I also really love all the actual play episodes. So you can get those if you're interested in hearing the actual play stuff. Patreon.com/TADPOG. Also the Scott Pilgrim-esque, the various insert band name here versus the world series that ran for a couple of months in the main feed of the show is out there. We can find those episode numbers and highlight those if you're interested. That was a really fun actual play. It was my first go at an actual play on the show. Maybe I really enjoyed that, and I'm looking forward to our next one, which we hopefully we'll be doing a Dark Tower type of thing if
Dark Tower
it comes together.
or I've also got Call of Cthulhu on deck too. I know it's
Call of
probably time to
Cthulhu
hit
stuff.
that book again.
Listening to that actual play, that's probably one of my fondest memories was listening to the Call of Cthulhu actual plays that you've done. I wasn't in them, but I enjoyed listening to those a lot.
I like those a lot.
Tyler produces the shit out of those. He does music and sound effects and all kinds of things that make them really, really enjoyable.
Well, there's minimal in Piggy Palace. I did that way more on Scott Pilgrim. Nothing in Son of Sam. Minimal in Piggy Palace, and then heavily produced Scott Pilgrim.
Got a lot in Scott Pilgrim.
What do you prefer? I mean, I know obviously heavily producing is a lot more
It's
work.
a lot of work.
But do you prefer the final product of that over like the minimal producing?
It's hard. It's hard to say because I feel like to get the Scott Pilgrim vibe that was necessary to that game. I wonder if I tried to do it with something Call of Cthulhu, I don't know if it would add to it or would take away from it. Because I did enjoy the episode I really lead into with it where I had like the rain sound effect and stuff like that when you guys were storming the Piggy Palace.
That's pretty subtle though, especially compared to like what you were doing with Scott Pilgrim for sure. And I agree with you. I think like doing some of that in Scott Pilgrim is necessary because it lights up that nostalgia.
Video game nostalgia-ish thing. And that happened throughout that movie a great deal. And that, to grab that aesthetic, you've got to really grab it.
So if I were to do another Call of Cthulhu, I would put more production into it, but still try to keep it subtle.
Keep it to
the cocking of a gun, rain, light jabs outside of a restaurant, something ambient and atmospheric, but not like to trigger a nostalgic feeling. Like Scott Pilgrim.
And definitely the sound of a VCR tape.
Yep. I bought that. I'm gonna fucking use it. and a gate and a vault
You have to
shutting.
insert that somewhere in every actual play from now on. To get your money's worth.
There's always a lighthouse. There's always a VCR.
Okay, so our next submission is from Jack of Ziggy Moons, who writes, their pick is 485 Doki Doki Literature Club, which introduced me to this great game and my waifu, Monica.
I didn't realize it introduced Kana to.
I didn't know that either, and
cool.
but it did introduce me to Doki Doki Literature Club. That was one of the episodes I listened to that I really, really, really enjoyed, and then immediately got the game and started playing
It was
it.
such a surprise. You even bought the premium version.
I
You actually
did.
paid money for
I
it.
bought the premium version on Switch. I really, really liked it, and I wouldn't have ever known about it if it hadn't been for you guys doing that. So that was awesome.
It's a great game.
Agree with that sentiment.
I'm ready for the sequels and all the stuff that supposedly alluding to another parallel world game involving all those same characters.
God, that game, one of the few games I can honestly say gave me a creeped out, deep pit of my stomach moment was in that game when things started getting dark. And I'm like, I even knew it was coming, and it still freaked me out.
The turn is pretty
effective. It is.
Fucking great.
It's a fucking great game. And those of you that don't know it, listen to episode 485 and then play Doki Doki Literature Club, or do it in the opposite order. I don't care. But that's a really excellent game.
Because what Matt Pat did a breakdown where basically found out that Monica escaped a different game into Doki Doki to try to get attention to it for people to play and save the AI of this game, this other game.
I love shit like that. That's awesome. Jack and Ziggy Moon's next on their list is episode 286, Honey Pop. Chandra and Paul Korn were on this one. Classic episode.
Shocked how much I like that game.
Loved Honey Pop.
Yeah, Honey Pop rules.
I played it again recently, just because. And I got the second one. I haven't finished it yet, but I really like those games.
Yeah, I got the second one. Well, I think it is because there was a game in between Honey Pop and Honey Pop 2.
That was Honeycam Studio,
Studio.
which
I didn't like.
Didn't understand it,
so I didn't get on that. But,
yeah,
because I mean, part of what I loved about Honey Pop was the waifus in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the art's amazing.
Honey Pop 2 has that same, it's the same game.
Yeah.
It's just more of the same.
It's harder.
And it is harder. It is. I had to
That's why I
stop
stopped playing because I was like, I gotta think too much. And
Yeah.
like, what I kind of want to do is just play a simple puzzle game
and see some
and be
waifu
horny.
boobies.
So,
yeah. The next on the list of Jack and Ziggy Moon's Patreon episode, Too Hot for Two Dudes. This apparently is the episode that hooked Jack and Ziggy Moon's on TADPOG. This was the gateway to TADPOG for Jack and Ziggy Moon, so I think that's funny. Episode 442, Tenjin Miss Pac-Man. Jack and Ziggy Moon's says, I was very drunk, and they play those calls. And then episode 300, Katawa Shujo, another good one with Jacob and Galen. And I do remember all of these episodes. These all stood out to me as very good. And these were sort of my
romance in Katawa Shoujo.
Yeah. These were sort of my kind of stepping stones to get me into anime. It took a long time to get there, but when I did, of course, as we all know, I talked about it for months. It was my obsession. I was catching up with everyone else, apparently. And then
Katawa Shujo saved my brain in Bio 105.
Oh, yeah?
Because when I was going back, I switched majors in order to get my exercise science edition for my major, because my bachelor's is in integrated studies of nutrition, and then I got to pick a second to take classes and blend them in. So I chose exercise science, so I had to take Bio 105 in some lab in order through the summer to in the fall be able to pick that up. So I took Bio 105 in the lab at the community college, and the classroom, I could have my laptop, but like there was no internet in it. So I remember, and he had all the slides. He would just read the slides that you could download with all the notes attached. But I just had to sit there for an hour and a half. So all I did was sit in the back of class, and Katawa Shujo is a game you download, an offline game. Played the shit.
Nice.
I just played that for an hour and a half, like 4 days a week.
Jack and Ziggy Moon's honorable mention, episode 274. Ryan presents Cutting Room Floor 2015 for pole position with Taryn and hashtag More Miller as well.
He cut a lot of that shit.
Yeah.
It's like a clip show of the best moments of TADPOG up to that point.
It is pretty excellent. Honestly, I do think that's one of the that's a really nice listen.
And that takes a lot of effort and a lot of knowledge to be able to piece that together. Anytime I watch a sitcom where they have a,
So it's come to this.
Yeah, exactly. Where they have a mashup of scenes from old episodes. I'm like, God, or even a commercial.
Yes, Rose, I remember. And then,
or even a commercial where they find all of the words that they say to help emphasize the message of the commercial for that show.
Sure.
It's like, man, that's a lot of work. And I guess probably now there's probably AI that handles a lot of that.
so
But back
It's
in the
Always Sunny
day-
did a clip show of clips that didn't actually exist.
Oh man, that's funny. I love it.
That was really good.
Okay, our next submittor, and I'm honestly surprised he didn't make it in sooner, is Mr. Puzzles himself,
Dane
S. Preston, Esquire. He says, "Oh shit, this is the moment I've been training for." This says, he's got it all bolded out and like sorted. I mean, it's super
Nice formatting.
super good formatting,
Nice.
real
Props.
OCD shit. Backlog Banisher Dane's episode draft. The first listing here is episode 369.5, the one where Ian answers sex questions for money.
It's a good one.
It's a pretty good one.
I remember that was fun to record.
It got a lot of attention. That was a Patreon episode
Right.
because I refused at the time to answer sex questions on the regular feed for fear that someone I know might hear it. If you know me and you want to hear my sex stories, give us $1. It's on the Patreon, patreon.com/TADPOG. The next entry here, episode 245, Pepsi Man. Fanta is Nazi Coke, and Dave's state of pure, unadulterated joy when he got that question right. I will never forget that moment. I have actually run that back and listened to it before.
The purity of that laugh of like getting that question right.
If you could bottle that and sell it, you'd be a billionaire. It was wonderful.
There's a Pepsi Man, I'm proud to report, is a meme in Final Fantasy XIV. There is a boss in the game that when you fight, it is tradition to yell Pepsi Man. And I'm not the only one who does it. Like
Nice.
I learned it from watching someone else. I was like, holy shit, yes.
Oh, man. Next up, episode 633, The Ignition Factor. The boys took on TADPOG high stakes trivia, almost beating me at my own game, and inducing financial ruin.
Yeah.
That was
I forgot
good
about
shit.
that. That's
I think I
funny.
was in on that. I think
Yeah.
I was here for that one.
Now, what I'm having trouble remembering is the game Ignition Factor.
That's the
That
one
was
with the firefighter one,
Okay.
and we liked that game. That was actually a fun game. I remember that.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
it was conceptually.
Conceptually, yeah.
It was a good game.
I
It was
would
a
play it again.
refreshing
Yeah.
game.
I'd play it again.
Next up on Dane's list, episode 395, Booger Man, a pick and a flick adventure.
Not a good game.
Jacob calling in with the Fig 8
in the
story.
walls of my house.
And I quote, this is wrong. I'm supposed to read this.
Because it was a guy asking Galen in broken English.
She has 17 years old and I 19. She do Fig 8 to me. That's really hard. She don't remove my legs. And I say, please, my leg's painful, but she didn't remove me. I begin cried, but she laughed and didn't remove.
Do you like Fig 8? I cry.
Episode 127, the return of the All Call In show. This was before we called everything Oops All Calls. This lost episode features 580 at the top of his fucking game, and Fishlip J's iconic FMK Zelda Samus Peach.
Roll up in a ball. Clean
A
up.
legendary episode if ever there was one. Dane's honorable mentions, episode 488, Karnov, Chris fucking Black. Enough said.
Think about it.
Think about it. Highways. Think about it. And then finally, the last honorable mention, episode 311.5, the Jasmine story, 50 Shades of Yellow. The sounds of Taryn dry heaving still echoes through my mind, and the tale woven by Tyrone haunts my soul. You are stronger man than I, my friend.
It's easy when you don't know any better.
I've got one more I'm going to do.
Okay.
If that's cool.
Yeah.
Bubba Drewski has sent in.
Bubba Drewski.
Let me double check something because my list here is jacked the hell up. Okay. Sorry, Bubba Drewski. I'm getting there. I promise. All right. He says, my man Dane puts up some strong episodes in no particular order, and I couldn't be bothered to look up the episode number / titles. We have the one where Ian reads John's letter. There is no music here.
God, I love that.
Yeah.
God, I love that so much.
That turned out well for me. That got me a lot of attention. I'm not going to lie. That was fun. Nicopara was the first episode Bubba Drewski listened to.
I hope, Bubba Drewski, I hope that you were like, you sat down at your computer and you were like, what am I going to search on Google today? Neko Para space podcast. Enter.
Score!
I mean, I'm not judging. We made the podcast.
Right. It was made by us.
Open an incognito window. Necopara podcast.
Nah, man. Raw dog.
I had to jump ahead just a little because Dane chimes in to inform Bubba Drewski that the one where I read John's letter, it was episode 252, Zelda Ocarina of Time Part 2. And the next one on Bubba Drewski's favorite list is Super Drunk Tyler. And in quotes, I eat ass.
Legend of Zelda.
Yep.
Yep. With Brandon Hawkins.
Yep.
Actually,
It was an odd reunion, wasn't it?
Yep. First time I'd seen him in like 15 years.
well, actually,
He was a good guy.
Tyler, according to Dane Puzzles, Drunk Tyler was 206 Pokemon Snap.
But you were also drunk. You were also super drunk, I feel like. Because Brandon wasn't on Snap, was he?
No. Snap was whenever like the zebra cakes.
Oh yeah, you were fucking crazy that night.
Yeah.
you were fucking crazy Pokemon Snap night. I can't remember who was there. Someone was there. It might have been John.
I've heard stories. I kind of wish I had been here for that one.
Yeah.
Because is that where we wore matching hoodies and spent like $50 on food at the gas station, and they were like, this is cheaper at Walmart.
I remember that, but I don't know if that was the same night or a different night. But that was funny. I would do that again.
The next
we had like matching hoodies and pajama pants, and we rolled up and just bought weird ass junk food. They were just like, what do these people think of us?
probably weren't the weirdest thing that came in there that night. The next one is the all calls. This with the super creep calls. I don't know that. He says 315 or some number I can't remember. I don't know which one he's referring to. And the last is the one with the Fig 8 story. I know Dana already listed it, but holy crap, that had me rolling.
It's
so
fucking great.
Let's see. We have a few more, which I can save for next week if you want.
Okay. Yeah. I really enjoyed that. That was nice remembering.
It was really nice hearing that. I've been wanting to do that for a while. I'm glad I did because we got some good feedback on that. And if you're listening to this now and you want to add to that, you can go to patreon.com/tadpog. Give us money if you want. But if you want to go to the Discord, it's bit.ly/tadpog Discord. In the draft submissions section is where we have it now. If I come up with another idea, what I'm probably going to do is clear out all these lists and start fresh. So we have a nice orderly way of doing it. But for now, I like this. We'll keep it going. And I'll read a few more next week.
Cool.
But we've also got drafts to do as well. So I'm not going to do this every week. This is a limited time offer, people.
I don't know. We're about an hour in and still have plenty of game talk to hit. So
Yeah.
maybe we just don't draft and roll into talk
Oh
about the
yeah,
game.
I think it's probably good to get to the game.
Yeah.
And then we'll do some. We'll figure it out next week. It'd be
sounds
a
good.
good thing to cover on an all drafts episode. We have plenty of ideas.
Yeah, that is
a lot of
true.
really good ones in there too. So if you want to see what they are, go to the Discord. In the
Might have to have
meantime,
a draft randomizer.
ooh, we could do a draft randomizer. That's a good idea. Then we wouldn't have to choose anything.
Yep.
We let fate decide for us. Like the cut of your
We
jib,
can make another
Tyler.
idol. to worship.
I always have.
That was always my least favorite commandment. All the ones on that one tablet, you can just ignore.
That's fine. Yeah.
I don't know what other ones were on there. Probably like coveting your neighbor's wife.
Yeah, whatever.
Forget that.
Everyone does
He
that.
likes
Let's get
it.
rid of it.
He likes
He's a
it when-
cuck.
yeah.
He doesn't. Yeah, that's totally different.
He asked me to do it. I mean, what was I going to say? No.
That's why I asked God. It's like, what about cucking then? Come on,
Right?
Come on, man.
I mean, you gave us the ability to comprehend it. Surely it's fine.
Their parents. I'm honoring someone's mother and father. Come on.
All right, so let's take a little break, and then we'll be right back to talk about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the Fighting Edition.
And now for the game talk.
The Game Talk.
Do we want to start out with the letter, the email?
I do.
The email. Check the email. I don't know where that fucking came from.
Do it, Rockapella. Are they on? What's that? What's that? Fucking you give them money and they say stuff. What's
Cameo.
Cameo. Are they on Cameo? Can we get them to do
Fuck,
like
fuck.
bumpers and shit for us?
Shit, that'd be amazing.
Piss tasters.
All right. Brad from Arizona who writes us just about every week now to add a little bit of content to our Game Talk section by sending us reviews from magazines and GamePro, things like that, Nintendo Powers, whatever happens to have written a review about the game we're talking about back in the 90s. And that is super cool of him to do that. And so I am going to read this most recent email regarding the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the Fighting Edition. Brad begins, Hello. T's and P's for Dave.
That's tits and pussies.
That's right. I think it's indicative of what bullshit
Just for
adult
Dave.
life can be. That
Just
there's
for
only
me.
3 of you.
I'll
it-
share.
Let me start over. T's and P's for Dave. I think it's indicative of what bullshit adult life can be that there's only 3 of you and it feels like at least one of you has a crisis roughly every 7 days. Hang in there.
Correct.
That is not wrong. This game was reviewed just 2 issues after the Power Rangers movie game. Apparently, market saturation was not a concern. Mediocre fighting games were a dime a dozen in 1995, and if you had this, you had 1/12 of a dime. From GamePro, October 1995, one of the more negative GamePro reviews you'll see. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers: the Fighting Edition. Just when you thought you were all rangered out, they're back. This time in POG form. This time around, the Rangers have morphed into a one-on-one fighting game that's sure to take a lot of hits. Go away. MMPR
Shit.
Fighting Edition doesn't set itself apart from the vast number of fighting games. Neither the movies nor the gameplay are above and beyond what's already been done in fighting. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. Neither the moves nor the gameplay are above or beyond what's already been done in fighting games. Graphically, the game looks okay. The fighters are fairly large in size and sport some nice detail. However, the graphics start to wear thin as soon as you pick up the controller. Choppy animation and slow characters make for uneventful gameplay. Flat backgrounds are even more lifeless than the characters themselves. The sparse sounds are all too familiar to the ear. Most of the sound effects in the game are rehashed from games like the Ninja Warriors and Wild Guns, which was a good game.
Yeah, Wild Guns is great.
Your best bet is to turn the sound off and make up your own. At least yours will be original. This guy's ripping this game a new one. The controls are the strongest feature in the game. The moves are easy to pull off, and there are even some 2-in-1 combos. But if you're looking for in-depth competition, you may want to keep on looking. Let's see. Mighty Clonin Power Rangers. True Ranger fans or beginner fighters may enjoy this simple game, and any Ranger haters can take this chance to beat the Mighty Morphin daylights out of them. They got 2s and 2.5s across the board, according to Game Pro. 3 for graphic. Oh, sorry, 3s. 3 for graphics, 3 for fun, 3.5 for control, and a 2 for sound. Yikes! Brad from Arizona. Thank you, Brad,
Thank you, Brad.
for the email.
I think my personal opinion, don't know, don't have any facts to back this up. Don't know how I would even gather those facts. I think this reviewer didn't like Power Rangers, is my guess. Not, I don't mean the game, but like as like an IP, as a franchise.
Yeah.
I don't think he liked Power Rangers. And this is just because my opinion of this game, I think this is a really good fighting game on the Super Nintendo. I don't think it's real deep, and I don't think it needs to be.
It doesn't need to be.
Because I think it's a good beginner like starter like fighting game. I thought it looked really good. And I got so excited when I was so like, I thought this was going to be a game where you're fighting as the Power Rangers, red, blue, all of the colors.
Right.
And you were going to be like fighting against like, I don't know, putties and stuff. And it's like, you're fighting as Zords. And like the moment, like that was a big realization for me where it's like, you're fucking fighting as Zords and you're fighting against like, you're doing the thing like at the end of
What was
the
missing
beat 'em
from the
up.
It's like
movie?
they left
Right.
it out of the movie
Yeah.
game, and
That makes you think wonder if they did it on purpose for
They probably
this.
did. They probably saved it. They were probably like,
Yeah.
we can make 2 games out of one. Yeah. Considering that it was also developed by Natsume, like the other games were. Yeah, man. This came out in 1995. It is a fighting game. It was developed by Natsume and published by Bandai, just like the game we talked about last week. But that was a beat 'em up. This is a fighting game. I've kind of showed my cards. I didn't think it was a very in-depth game. I was disappointed by a few things. You can, in the story mode, you can only fight as one of 2 Zords.
right. And this is the
Tiger Megazord.
Tiger Megazord, right?
And then the Thunder, I don't know.
The,
I don't
the
know. Mighty
Thunder
Morphin Power Rangers.
Megazord.
Yes. The Thunder Megazord or the Mega Tiger Zord. Phew. Excuse me for not remembering those names.
Which
I didn't remember
in my
either.
opinion, the Tiger Megazord fucking outclassed the hell out of the Thunder Megazord.
See, I think that's funny because I think my
Oh, do
opinion
you?
is the
Okay.
exact opposite.
'Cause I had a much easier time with the Tiger Megazord.
Did you?
than I did.
Me too, actually.
I like the reach of the Thunder Megazord.
That Saber did have some reach.
Because he's got a
The
sword.
Saber was nice. You get an easy 3-hit combo right off the bat
Yeah.
with that thing.
And the way it's set up, it's a 4-button game. You've got a light regular attack, a heavy regular attack, and then a light weapon attack, and a heavy weapon attack. So every character in the game has a weapon. I thought that was neat because it's bless you.
Thank you.
I feel like that's a thing that we've seen in a couple fighting games. I think it was Warlord a fighting game. I feel like that was there was one like Conan the Barbarian style fighting game.
Battle Blaze.
Battle Blaze. I'm pretty sure that was it.
Yeah.
But like, so I like the novelty of seeing weapons in a fighting game. I think that's nice because it like breaks from like the Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat. I know Mortal Kombat has like projectiles.
Samurai Showdown is the one I think of with weapons.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a lot less, I'd say, tactical than Samurai Showdown. But I'm glad you brought it up. I like the novelty of the weapons. I like how that's set up. I thought it looked really good. I think the sound. I think if you like the Power Rangers theme, you're going to be okay. Because you're going to hear it.
You're gonna hear
You
it
really like the Power
lot.
Rangers theme.
on
Play it
repeat
over and over
It's
again.
it's the only music they have in the whole game.
But I think that is detrimental. However, I will say that I personally never get tired of that song.
I know.
And if there was a battle, like if I'm fighting and it's not playing, I'd be like, why isn't the theme song playing? What is this bullshit? So I don't know. That's kind of like my initial thoughts on the game. I know that, and some of that might be colored just by the fact that I like fighting games. I have played so many bad fighting games on the Super Nintendo. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of bad fighting games on this console. And I know we're not to this point yet. This is like a top 100 for me. This is like,
God damn.
this would like replace, I mean, it'd be like in the bottom. But I think this is a really good game. To me, this is like a personal hidden gem for me. I think it's better than Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Fighting Edition, like tournament. I think like by far, I think it's better. The controls in this game are really good. I didn't feel like they were like mushy at all. I mean, it all felt really crisp. And another thing that I liked about it is that there aren't many special moves, but the commands are shared between characters. So it's simplified. I know they do that in Street Fighter where it's like a quarter circle forward plus a punch is probably going to throw a fireball for a lot of characters.
Right.
But then you have the characters that are more like a charge setup, where you got to charge back and then forward to do a projectile. From what I saw, all of the characters kind of have like a similar move set, which could be viewed as a bad thing. But I think when I was playing this, I was thinking that it felt like they made a good fighting game for younger people.
Yeah, absolutely. Without question, that's what they were doing.
Because I don't think it's very complicated, but I do think it's a very good-looking game. And I know I'm going on and on and on, but I did really like this game. It really surprised me.
Okay, no, I totally get that.
And like the backgrounds, I mean, it would like GamePro touches on the backgrounds. I do think it would be nice if like some of that was destructible. Like, cause you're fighting in front, like you're fighting like at an airport and it's like the planes are tiny behind you, cause you're in Zords and it's like,
right.
They did a really good job with scale, but I agree. I do wish like if there was some kind of like destructibility or like something going on in the backgrounds, I think that would be nice.
Because even in the show, like the enemy will uppercut the Megazord and it will fall into a building and break the building.
Yeah.
Stuff like that would be awesome. And then there are those King of Monsters games, the SNK games, where like that's what I was thinking of because like you destroy the city like as you're wrestling as kaiju. I think those games they're different, but I think those are more impressive. The SNK games are more impressive. This is kind of like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers fighting game is like a by the numbers fighting game. I just think that they nailed the fundamentals, to be perfectly honest.
Because I'm wondering if they didn't build, because the enemies are the same enemies you fight in the movie game, like the lipstick girl and the the monster with the claws. And I don't think you fight Goldar though.
You do. You fight Goldar,
Goldar in the
right
movie?
before you fight. Oh, in the
movie, I don't know if you
movie
fight
game.
Goldar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
No, I don't actually.
but it's the
think-
same. Like those aren't
Goldar
monsters
in the
I
movie game?
remember.
I didn't make it to Goldar in the Ivan Ooze
Maybe
beat him up, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I know he's in the
I don't-
fighting
I
game
don't-
for sure.
I don't think
because I was
he fights.
excited when I was
Yeah.
like, "Fucking Gold, my dog,
Yeah.
Goldar."
Goldar was tough too. He was like actually a little bit more of a challenge. I don't say it was a challenge.
They
a
finally
little bit more of a
changed because I
challenge.
feel like it was samey until Goldar because he has wings, Zed because he can teleport, and then fucking Ivan Ooze is a whole different ball game. Like I feel like I plowed through everything until I got to Ivan
it's
Ooze.
funny you say
and then I
that.
was just like. It was just that what's the
You had
that
to start
TikTok of the little
trying.
kid like get shit on, get shit on like
I haven't seen
Ivan
that. That's
Ivan
funny.
Ooze fucking punched my shit in
I fucking
like 10
love
times
this.
before I figured it out and was able to beat him.
Because I beat Ivan Ooze first try. First try. I thought he was I was like, what
Oh,
the fuck?
man.
I was like, okay, they're following fighting game canon where the last boss is not as difficult as the boss before him. Zed, I thought was way harder because that every time I take a swing at him, he would teleport.
You get your combo going, you only get one hit before he's teleported behind you.
Totally.
And see, I just, as you can see, as witnessed here on my Delta emulator on my phone, today I finished up playing. I have not yet fought Zed, and so I don't know.
Yeah. Zed was interesting in that he could. I've never. Because in my opinion, this game, it's fine. It's got good points and bad points. I did think it was interesting having Goldar that could fly. You
Yeah.
don't typically see regular fighters. I feel like everyone was pretty samey except Goldar. When he's flying, that changes the script. Zed's teleporting. I remember teleporting like that. Like Scorpion can teleport, but not like fucking Zed can teleport.
Right.
And then I just noticed because I don't block a lot. I'm just not that's not a tactic I normally use. And like I feel like you
same.
have to do it with Ivan Ooze.
Yeah, I see why
You're
Ivan
gonna-
Ooze was difficult
yeah,
for you.
yeah,
because
because-
Ivan Ooze is like the strategy that I used for Ivan Ooze was like he's gonna like throw lightning or ooze or whatever, block, and then like he's got a long period of time before he does anything else, and then
Yeah.
you just fucking wail on him,
yeah.
and then the next time he winds up, you just block, and then it's done. But I thought Zed gave me more trouble until I found out how to cheese him, which is throws.
Throws
Just do a
were insanely
crossover
powerful
throw,
in this game.
Grab that dude by his head, fucking throw him. I love the throws of this game.
Most
They're
of
so
the
brutal.
they are brutal. Most of the ones that I won, I was spamming throws. Just if I was like, okay, I'm ready to move on,
Yeah.
I would just start spamming throws. The only one I couldn't throw consistency was Goldar because he flies.
Yeah.
You can't grab him. And I was more of a blocker in the Goldar one because he'd get up there, and if you got within his kick radius, he'd kick you in the head and cause problems for you.
I think
It's the closest I came to losing a life was fighting Goldar.
I think it's a well-designed fighting game because they take a lot of fundamentals from like Street Fighter, for example. Like you can map things from like Street Fighter to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and I'm not saying that this game is definitely derivative of Street Fighter
Sure.
2, for sure. And I'm not saying that it's better than Street Fighter 2. It's just interesting to see Natsume pretty much take Street Fighter 2 and we're like, what if we made this simpler? And how they map that is really super cool because it's like they give you the tools to deal with like Goldar's flying because it's like they have anti-airs in this game, and it's like they're put there for the right reason. I mean, it's like it was really, really neat to see like they knew what they were doing when they were designing this. It wasn't like I feel like in a lot of fighting games that we've played for the show, they don't know how to design a fighting game.
Yeah, they're sluggish and.
Well, that was my main
controls
complaint.
Are bad.
Is that you're big and it felt slow to me. I even struggle with original release Street Fighter 2 because I feel like it's frustratingly slow.
Yeah.
So this, I feel like your characters, and I get it. They're mechs, they're giant, they're Zords, so they're meant to be big. They felt really big, especially what's his name, the Shogun Megazord or whatever.
I think that's his name.
Yeah,
yeah, he's huge. He's towering.
He's bigger, even way bigger than the Zord you're playing,
and bigger and accurately slower.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's where I find I get frustrated with. I don't like slow fight. Like Street Fighter 2 Turbo is one of the best games ever made for me.
Yeah.
I fucking love it. But yes, slow is where, and that's my personal issue. When it's slow, then I feel frustrated. I feel stuck.
Yeah.
See, now I didn't feel for the record, I too enjoyed this game, and it was refreshing to get in and be able to pick it up and play it and do well, and not have to overthink it or do anything too fancy to get ahead in the game. I didn't feel like it was too slow for me. I don't know if it's because of the emulator I'm playing it on, or whatever, but it felt good to me. I'm with you, Dave. I thought the controls were snappy and responsive. I thought it was colorful and fun.
It is colorful
to look
and pretty.
at.
I'll agree
I
to
thought
that.
it was
100%.
I was surprised by
the
how
thing
good
that the
it looked.
GamePro review says about the backgrounds being flat and boring. I completely disagree. I think
the danger room type levels when you fight the other Zords, I feel are kind of boring. But the actual when you're outside where you fight the monsters,
and they don't necessarily have to be dynamic to be good looking, And I think they did a good job with it as well.
It kind of made me want to watch Power Rangers. I'm not episodes, not the movie, because it's it reminded me of how much I enjoyed watching big fucking robots hit each other, hit a rubber monster, there's something about that I honestly feel like this game did a good job in capturing through its art style. I know that sounds weird, but I mean, it's with its use of bright colors. I don't know, man. It made me want. It was like, fuck, man. I kind of want to watch Power Rangers.
I feel like
now.
and it's gonna be even crazier for me to say. I feel like the evil Green Ranger episodes of Power Rangers are still pretty good because he does shit as a kid that you'd always question. Man, it'd be real bad if that happened. Whenever they all jump in their Zords and they're in the little command room all clustered together. I remember thinking as a kid, man, it would suck if somebody got in there. So when the Green Ranger, one thing he does is when they're fighting him, he sets up the Dragon Zord okay, fight him. And he leaves the Dragon Zord, and all of a sudden you see him open the command door room into the Zord. They all turn around. He just beats the fuck out of all of them while they're at their control panels, and then throws them out of the Zord, and then destroys the Zord because he has control of it.
Right.
So I remember
That's awesome.
I remember stressing out as a kid for 6 episodes just watching the Green Ranger fucking give them the business. It was great.
It sounds great. Yeah, my only reservation is I'd have to watch it with Henry, otherwise I'd feel really weird.
Right.
Because it's not like a cartoon. There's a disconnect for me where it's I don't really want to watch I feel weird watching a bunch of teenagers act. I just want to watch I just want to watch the
Just the
fights.
Super Sentai. You should watch Super Sentai.
Yeah, I just need to watch Super Sentai. But yeah, man, I can't stress enough how impressed I was in the design of the mechanics of the game. It really felt to me like they understood Street Fighter and mapped it and distilled it and made it simpler. Not necessarily more fun, but they simplified it and managed, in my opinion, to keep that feel intact.
It felt more Power Ranger to me than the other game did, last week's game. And
I mean, yeah.
They improved that's
because the original was the right level of difficulty for a kid who enjoys the show to play.
The first beat 'em up,
one.
Yeah.
And I feel like the movie was substantially harder.
Yeah, I thought it was
hard,
more difficult for sure.
But this one felt kind of just right. It was kind of balanced for someone of the right age range. that wants to play a fighting game, and plus you've got a 2-player option, which you could fight against one another, and
Right.
all of those things kind of make it pretty solid. I'm with you, Dave. I think it was a solid game and definitely a surprise because I'm already fucking sick of Power Rangers. I've had to think more about Power Rangers in the last week than I've had ever in my life, and now I was like, oh God, I don't want to do this, but at least we're getting it out of the way. But yeah, no, it surprised me too, and I found myself wanting to finish it, wanting to play through it, and I think they hit a home run.
Even though
on
I
this
think
one.
it's fine is still better than 80 to 90% of the fighting games
Absolutely.
we've played.
There are so many bad fighting games, and I'm to be like perfectly honest, that definitely is coloring my opinion of this game. I went in truly expecting a horrible fighting game, and I got in my opinion, a very serviceable Street Fighter clone.
We played much worse Street Fighter clones.
Dude, I think I would rather play this than like Mortal Kombat on the SNES.
My
I could
opinion.
see that.
I've never been a real fan of Mortal Kombat.
And I think that might be why the speed didn't really, because Mortal Kombat's kind of a slower fighting game.
Yeah.
The originals, I feel like.
They try to pack a lot into those.
They do.
And it loses something in that translation.
And I like the original Mortal Kombat games. 3 is kind of where it lost me because then you get like the run button, and all of a sudden it felt to me like they were trying to make a game fast that was really never designed to be fast. It felt weird. But yeah, I can see why, if you're used to playing Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Tyler, that like this would definitely feel like a slow game. I also agree with the sameness. I would love to see more variety in fighters. I think that would be nice. I'm not a big enough Power Rangers guy to tell you who to put in it.
I would have appreciated, because I don't remember the monsters in it, with the exception of Goldar, Zed, and I think even Ooze is pushing it because he's just a one-off movie character. But I don't remember. Granted, they do have like consistent, like Goldar is a consistent like lieutenant like throughout the whole series. Makes sense for him to be in it. Zed's a big consistent bat. Makes sense. I would rather seen Rita.
Rita should have been in there.
Yeah, well, I don't know why. Is it because she doesn't really? Does she fight in the show? She usually summons something to fight for her, right?
Yeah, you never really see her fight.
So that might be why. I don't know.
She's magic support.
Would have been neat to see her, tiny Rita, down there controlling a bigger thing, fighting
like
you.
I would have liked to have seen other Zords. Like make it a full, like if it's fighting edition, fucking throw the original Megazord or the Dragon Zord or something else.
So neither of these. I knew the tiger one. What is it?
The Tiger Megazord is.
I knew that wasn't original.
Yep, because that's the incarnation of that. Because that's the white tiger with the other original dinosaurs, I believe, or that might be the second draft. The second draft of their animals plus the Dragon Zord's gone because Green Ranger's gone. When Tommy becomes the White Ranger, he gets the White Tiger Zord.
Okay. Dragon Zord is the original?
Dragon Zord is the original Green Ranger Zord.
What is... Okay, episode 1, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Megazord.
What's the Zord? That's Megazord.
Megazord is Saber-Tooth Tiger, Mammoth, Pterodactyl, and T-Rex put together.
Okay. So neither of these two were that one.
I mean... The Tiger Megazord could be the dinosaurs plus the white tiger, but I don't think so.
Okay. I'd agree with you. I think it would be cool if they included all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be nice. Having like
instead if those are one-off monsters on random episodes, why the fuck are they in it? Give me a consistent, recognizable name.
As a non-fan, that doesn't bother me. I could see why it would bother a fan of the show or someone who watched a lot of it. Because to me, it's just kind of like they're just I don't know any different.
Yeah,
I don't know who any of these are.
They reek of Monster of the Weeks.
Yeah,
like a girl with a tube of lipstick for a head, and then a monster that's not going to be able to speak like he was a reoccurring villain, they were a monster of the week to me.
Yeah.
I'd rather see something else. But
And I mean, I don't know. I know this is limited size, limited space on a cartridge, but man, I would
for as good as it looks
dude,
too, yeah.
man, like you can monetize something like this. Like if it were like today, where it's like
Lord,
every
it
week
would be like multiverses.
It's literally a monster of the week.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, did you like this week's episode? Well, here's the monster from it, 99 cents.
Oh, hell yeah.
Add it to the
Dave.
game.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Fighting Edition or Fighters History.
Or Fighters History? Mm-hmm. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Power Rangers or Ultraman Towards the Future.
Power Rangers. By a long shot.
Fighting Edition or Doomsday Warrior.
Oh my God. Doomsday Warrior was so fucking bad. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Oh my God. Doomsday Warrior. Forgot about that.
Power Rangers
trash.
or Tough Enough.
All right, I like Tough Enough. I like
did
Tough
not.
Enough. All
I
right,
did not.
but Power Rangers. I'm going Power Rangers.
Power Rangers or World Heroes.
World Heroes hilarious. World Heroes is a hilarious game. Also, I wouldn't say terrible, but Power Rangers for sure.
Power Rangers or, think about it, Power Moves. With
Power
our
Rangers.
wonderful art of the guy you fight on the raft.
I know. Also hilarious. Power Moves is also hilarious. Also, not like it's not Power Moves isn't terrible. Like Doomsday Warriors, terrible.
Terrible.
Ultraman, terrible.
Terrible.
But I mean, like, yeah, I'm going Power Rangers. It's way better than
Power Rangers or Clay Fighter.
Power Rangers. Clay Fighter's got the novelty aspect, but that wears off like once you've looked at all of the characters.
Power Rangers or Battle Blaze.
Power Rangers for sure. Battle Blaze is garbage.
Power Rangers or Art of Fighting.
Power Rangers. Art of Fighting is not good.
Power Rangers or Street Fighter 2.
Street Fighter 2.
Power Rangers or Mortal Kombat Trilogy.
Mortal Kombat Trilogy is a better game. I would rather play Power Rangers.
Power Rangers or Cross System, just because it's on the list, Bushido Blade.
Bushido Blade.
Power Rangers or Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Let's see, let me look at older Mortal Kombat 2.
Mortal Kombat 2 is a better game. I've played it so much that I think I'd rather spend more time with Power Rangers, but Mortal Kombat 2.
See, I would have the lore attached to Mortal Kombat that would draw me towards that one. Even if it weren't a better game, I'm more familiar with the Mortal Kombat franchise than I am Power Rangers.
There's just Mortal Kombat 2, in my opinion, is like the best Mortal Kombat.
Absolutely.
I loved it too.
It was kind of the perfect. It was the peak of Mortal Kombat right there at the early days, and then
it was so
never
interesting.
it was never as good after that.
Yeah, I agree.
We have these tagged as fighting games as well.
Okay.
Smash Brothers Ultimate.
Oh, I mean that's not a fighting game, but Smash Brothers.
We
Ultimate.
said it is apparently.
Well, yeah. We're the authority.
Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Also not a fighting game, but Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
That's our Super Smash Brothers 3DS.
Super Smash Brothers 3DS.
And that's everything we have tagged as fighting games.
Okay. I feel like we missed some.
Probably, yeah. It sounds like it too, because that's Mortal Kombat 1 isn't on that list. Mortal Kombat 3 isn't on that list.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that was fun. You reminded me about a lot of games that I'd forgotten about.
Mm-hmm.
Because
There
Fatal
are
Fury
more.
wasn't in there.
Yep.
Which, I mean, Fatal Fury is it's a good fighting game. I'd rather play Power Rangers, but it's a good fighting game. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is like truly, I was super impressed by this game. I came in with low expectations. I like fighting games. I like that it looked like they cared about it. I think I am curious about the development history. and like whether or not this was initially intended to be like the end of stages in the beat 'em up, in the Ivan Ooze beat 'em up.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, honestly, I think what they might have seen was, oh shit, we made a pretty decent fighting game system.
Because the theory
We can make money by selling this separately.
Because generally the show always goes, they fight them as teenagers,
Right.
get beat, turn into Power Rangers, get the upper hand on the monster. Rita makes it huge. Zord comes in, finishes it off. That's the formula. So I can see if in that game where you beat it as the Ranger, then you go into a Zord to finish it off.
Makes sense.
Makes sense. God, I haven't seen that dude in forever.
But yeah, I agree. Seeing some variety, some more variety, a larger roster would be nice.
I mean, because it does have nine fighters. Because Ivan Ooze is, once you beat it in hard mode, you unlock the secret code, so you can unlock Ivan Ooze.
Right. Yep. Which honestly, for a Super Nintendo
Super Nintendo,
game,
it's
I
not
feel
bad.
like that's not bad. I'm spoiled by modern fighting games where it's like, well, there aren't 40 playable characters. What the fuck? What am I even paying for?
By Mugen or whatever with
Right.
400 fighters.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. There's this game it just clicked, man. This is one where it's like I normally talk about when I'm playing the game. I look down at the clock and I'm like, fuck, because I want to put an hour in. And I'm like, I have to play this for 40 more minutes. This time I looked down, I was like, I only have 15 minutes less. I only budgeted an hour to play this game that I thought was going to be horrible.
Right.
So it's like, fuck. And it's like, I'm trying to like beat it on I'm trying to beat it on all difficulties, is all the the two characters that you can do the story mode.
Yeah, because I beat it on easy, and then I beat it on medium, and I struggled with medium. Medium wasn't fun, so then I stopped.
Yeah.
Because I thought, I wonder what the hard mode code is. And I just stopped.
Yeah. I didn't finish it on hard. I ran out of time, but I beat it on normal as both the characters, and then because I wanted to try both of them,
Because for me, the Tiger Megazord was a down B simulator. Because that's all I had to fucking do to beat anybody but Ooze.
Yeah.
Because like it's long range, and if they were close enough, I'd hit them 6 times with it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think and this isn't, please don't take this personally, it's not a dig against you at all, but I do think that if you're playing a fighting game that way, I can definitely see it getting boring fast.
Because I've never liked. That's why I love Street Fighter, even though it's special moves heavy. Why I really don't like Mortal Kombat, because it always felt slow, clunky, and the emphasis is on special moves.
Yeah.
Street Fighter you can play without them and do just fine. And then, but I really liked Virtua Fighter, because Virtua Fighters had almost non-existent special moves.
Right.
It was just mixing up heavy, light, medium kicks and punches. So.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said about, playing a fighting game with really playing a fighting game that's designed with the fundamentals in mind. And you're right.
Combos and stuff, getting better.
Because there's also that timer, the bar that fills up and down, that we haven't even brought that up.
That's your power gauge at the bottom. And once it fills up completely, you can do a super special, essentially, which, that exists in, I can't remember what Street Fighter game it was introduced, but it's where you essentially do a double input, like a quarter circle forward punch, and you do like an ultimate special move. Like you do an ultimate version of that, where it's like normally it would be the Zord like releases a fireball from its chest. If you fill up that gauge and then do the double input, it releases one that does just a crazy amount of damage.
Because SNES Drunk reviewed, this, and I watched his review of it. He feels the same way you do.
Oh, really?
But watching his video of him playing it was reminding me of watching like the BioShock like display demo at E3, where it's like they're playing BioShock in ways that you're not going to play BioShock. Like it looks amazing with the traps and the plasmids and all this shit, and he's playing with special moves, and they're opening electricity going everywhere, all sorts of shit. Like I had no idea how to do it.
Yeah.
With what went behind it. He was talking about all the stuff with the timing in the bar. And the
Okay, yeah, I
moves
want to
and
watch this video. I haven't watched it because I want to see what he has to say about it, and I want to see the gameplay.
It looked like a completely different game from what I was playing.
It is like when you play it, kind of like I feel like it's meant to be played. Like I do feel like it is meant to be played a certain way.
Yeah, just like Mortal Kombat is. So I don't. Yeah, no, that is. I don't consider that a dig. You're right. That is, and that holds me back from liking stuff like this because that's just not the kind of player I am for stuff like that.
And you like what you like too. Yeah. I mean, and honestly, in my opinion, there's no point in learning something that doesn't really have its hooks in you to begin with.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like for me, a lot of this stuff, like the hooks get in. Like when I realize, oh, okay, well they've got like a system here. What's this system and what is it supposed to be intended for? Yeah. I get frustrated when it's obvious the designer's like, I don't know, we just thought it was cool, we put it in. But when you can see, it's like, oh, they thought about this. This system is in there to counter this thing. That this, it's like, okay, they designed this. It's like how everything, I don't know, interlocks. I was really impressed by this game. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think it's better designed than Mortal Kombat. I really, truly, honestly do. Like, I mean, Mortal Kombat, I think is fun. And Mortal Kombat 2 is fun. But I mean, it's like, I don't think
I can't turn Zed into a baby. I don't know. I don't know.
That's fun. That's fun. I love fun. I love that. But it's not like, I don't feel like the Mortal Kombat games are like intricately designed. I'll put it that way. I think that they're fun games, and I think that there's strategy involved in playing it well and winning. And I'm not talking about the modern ones because I don't know fucking shit about those. Those are probably super well designed. I don't know. But like I feel like the old ones, I mean, aren't as intricate as like say a Street Fighter game is or can be. Because I think one of the beautiful things about Street Fighter 2, is that it can be played on so many different levels, and and I'm not an expert at Street Fighter 2 by like any fucking stretch of the imagination, but it's fun to watch people of the same skill level play each other, like especially if they like don't have a lot of experience, because it's like you can kind of see how the game was kind of, I don't know, made to be played at all different kinds of levels. It's one of those where I do feel like it's easy to play, extremely difficult to master, like kind of that thing. And I know we're not talking about Street Fighter 2, but I feel like some of the spirit of Street Fighter 2, and like they were obviously taking a lot from Street Fighter 2 when they made Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
I mean, everyone who's ever made a fighter after Street Fighter 2 took from Street Fighter 2.
Yeah,
so.
For sure. So it was just nice to see a developer do it with like, I don't know, it just seemed like they did it with care.
Yeah. Did you guys have any achievements?
No. I didn't have time.
I have a couple. My first achievement is don't know how to pronounce it. Chirpy. In order to unlock Chirpy, which is apparently the hardest cheese in the world. You win a fight spamming just one move.
I got that.
Next achievement is Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead. In order to unlock Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead. Defeat Zed.
Yeah.
Pretty original. And my last achievement is unlimited power. In order to unlock unlimited power, use the cheat code to play as Ivan Ooze, because fucking Ivan Ooze is Emperor Palpatine. That dude showed up in the game.
They made him look evil, and he just swoops in from nowhere. Did not expect it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. Those are all the achievements I've got.
Cool.
I have one punch, Tiger Megazord. Unlock it by only using the one punch with the Tiger Megazord.
It's a good punch. It's a good punch. He's got speed, man. He's much faster than the other one.
Thunder.
Thank you, Thunder.
Yeah, Thunder Megazord.
Yeah.
And then
they got dashes in this game.
Green Destiny. unlock that by just using the down slash with the Thunder Megazord. I also did that, just jump in the air and then do the same slash down for like 5 hits. That's how I beat it with the Tiger Megazord. That's all I fucking did.
Yeah. I think this one would be fun to play against someone else. I honestly feel when I was playing this, I was like, man, I want to get on Fight K. I want to DM Nate and be like, yo, do you want to get on Fight K and play Power Rangers? And I might still do that. I may still do that and see if he wants to play, because that dude's good at fighting games. And I feel like I don't know how he feels about Power Rangers, but I think he might like this game. He might be able to throw down.
And my last one is this a Zangief? And you win a 2-player match with a Thunder Megazord.
Nice. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your
okay.
achievements. I thought you were done. My bad.
Yeah, I'm done.
Those were good.
Let's see what Flopsy has to say
Yeah,
about
what
it.
do you guys think? What do you think Flopsy had to say about the game?
Well, I think we're going to go in the same direction. Whereas last week they gave the movie game like 3.5 stars, and I think they're gonna lowball this one. I think this one's going to be 2.5 stars, and I'm going to say it's uncommon.
Sorry, Flopsy. 3.5 uncommon?
2.5 uncommon.
Oh, I will say, because Power Rangers the movie was uncommon, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So then I'm going to say 3 stars, very uncommon.
3 stars, very
Because I bet there's
uncommon.
even fewer copies of this out.
According to the ultimate Flopsy, Flopsy, excuse me. Flopsy, a.k.a. the ultimate Nintendo guide to the SNES library, 1991 through 1998 by Pat Contry, courtesy of Monster Mold Mike and a shadowy, mysterious benefactor. They gave Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the Fighting Edition. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong page. We're experiencing technical difficulties.
It's good podcasting.
If you could run the still of the dog pulling the electrical plug out of someone's podcast player.
I was thinking the Simpsons where he's behind the camera.
Oops, all drunk.
So it's,
Technical
it's
difficulties.
Ian at the soundboard drunk.
See, bookmarks work great unless you have 8 of them.
Right. You don't know which
In
one
which
does
case,
what.
They're not good. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the Fighting Edition, they gave 4.5 stars.
Whoa.
Uncommon. I think 4.5 stars is a bit much.
That's a high score
Yeah,
for Flopsy.
They skew positive, but I feel like that's, I don't know.
See, I thought they were going to go in the direction like GamePro did, where GamePro kind of gave this other game, the movie edition, pretty high scores. Nice. Pretty high scores, but the fighting one got low scores. So I thought that's what this would do as well. I was mistaken.
Honestly, I think the GamePro reviewer just didn't like
Power Rangers.
It's
Yeah.
truly
I think you're right.
my guess, or Bandai didn't give GamePro enough money that month or something.
Right. Right.
How much do you guys think you'd pay for it if you were to buy Mighty Morphin Power Rangers : the Fighting Edition loose for Super Nintendo?
I'm going to go high on this one because last time we missed it by about $20. I'm going to say $47.
$47. What do you think, Tyler?
$22.50.
$22.50. Actual retail value of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers : the Fighting Edition for the Super Nintendo, used on average at the time of this recording, is $56.60.
Good
That's a
Lord.
pricey boy.
Yeah.
Now, are you going to give that for that? Is it worth it for you, that price? Because you really liked this one.
I did really like it. I also like $56.
Right.
I would probably wait until it never came down.
Right.
It's probably this is the category for this game.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. The problem is I can already play it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like it's one of those. It's like I
right.
got it on a flash drive, allegedly, that I can play on the Super Nintendo.
I mean, I do own it,
So,
and I do have a legal backup
Right,
of
yeah,
it.
I do. But so why buy it again? That's my point.
Exactly.
New segment. Would I buy this a second time? Wink.
With each of our complete SNES collections we have at home.
Right.
Yes.
You'll see what we're playing next week?
Yeah, I
This
do.
is the old movie
Back
randomizer.
in the movie randomizer.
Where I roll 2d10. Oh, yeah, beards and glasses.
Tyler.
Yes, Dave.
Thank you for the reminder, Ian. Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
if you were to give this game a beard, that sums up how you feel about it. What beard? Why?
Ivan Ooze's twisting horn ooze beard.
God, I love an ooze beard.
Yeah.
It's like I did a good job. Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
if you were to give this game a pair of glasses, what glasses?
The pseudo Cyclops visor of one Lord Zed.
Nice.
He's like a cross between Cyclops and like Guy Fieri's backwards like visor hats.
He reminds me of Carnage. When I first saw
Yeah, he
him, I
does.
was like, this motherfucker's like Carnage.
Yep.
But yeah, the
Blew my
Cyclops
mind as a
visor.
kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, seeing like you can see his brain
Yeah.
and his muscles.
Yeah.
What happened?
I never knew his deal because, like, I guess I was completely done watching the show when he came.
Well, he's like he's one of the evil emperors of the whole universe. Here's Rita's up to something, so he's gonna come and see whatever the fuck Rita's up to. And he comes in, hates Rita, is giving her the business, and while she's asleep, he like puts like a love spell or something on him, and he wakes up and he's like, "Oh, I love you so much," and then that's just the dynamic for the rest of the show.
Okay.
and then you got like an angel,
He simps
half
for Rita,
fae
yeah.
situation going on.
Exactly.
Can I sleep in your apartment, Rita? I noticed you're throbbing erection, Zed.
There's no skin on it. It's a little weird.
But that's fine. I don't like skin.
Let's see. So roll 2d20 or 2d10 and count down. And if it's the one we have, I'll just go to the next one that we haven't.
Okay.
So that is 31. Let me count down from 31. 31 is the Lawnmower Man, which we have done.
Phew.
So-
Dodge that bullet.
Yeah.
So the next one after that,
I never want to watch or play that.
Me neither.
again.
Me neither.
well, this will make Ian very happy. After the Lawnmower Man is Lethal Weapon.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm excited.
I am too.
Lethal Weapon. Because if the game sucks, at least I know the movie doesn't suck.
I don't know anything about the game,
Me neither.
but I will in 1 week.
Now, are
And so will you, listener.
are there multiple lethal weapons?
there's just the
the one. Okay.
Yep.
And do we know whether are we going to run into a problem here where we know which movie that this game covers? Are we just going to assume that it covers the
I'm
first
assuming it just
movie?
covers the first one. When was Lethal Weapon 2 even come out? Was it after the SNES's run? Is there any chance of that?
Well, let me do a little digging here just to be sure, because we have internet now.
Might as well use it. Oh, no.
It says it's a video game based on the film series of the same name.
When I did a search for Lethal Weapon, SNES, trying to get the date or whatever, first thing that pops up is a Reddit post. We all love the SNES, but what was the worst SNES game you ever played?
Great. Good. I have no designs on this being a good game.
Sure. But will it follow the plot of the movie?
Here's one. Great movie. Bad game? I think it just covers the first one.
Okay.
I don't know for sure, but we'll just assume it covers the first one.
I will be shocked if we're able to discern that it is from a Lethal Weapon movie.
Yeah. I think you're onto something. That's okay.
We get to watch Lethal Weapon.
But you guys have to watch Lethal Weapon.
Sure.
And
I've seen it, but it's been a very, very long time.
I've never seen it.
I haven't seen all of the Lethal Weapons, but I've seen the first two, I think.
Well, thanks for listening, everybody. You can find the show on iTunes, not SoundCloud, not Stitcher, but on Spotify, YouTube, all over the goddamn place. We have all sorts of stuff going on, but most importantly, give Ian enough time to bring up his part of the show, and that is from Patreon.
He knows me too well. I always forget to bring it up, and while he's
Because I saw you grimace.
he's going through that spiel, I am finding my note. We have a Patreon. It's I mentioned it a couple times in this episode. Patreon.com/TADPOG. If you'd like to donate to the show for as little as $1 a month, you have access to all the bonus content we have. And if you keep giving us $1 a month, you'll continue to get access to any new bonus content we have. In the meantime, we have a list of who we like to refer to as executive producers. These are the fine folks that donate $20 or more per month to the show. And I'm going to read this list to you again, assuming it's accurate. I haven't checked in a while. That list begins with Cubicle Monkey, Plinko Nick Price, Usurper Grimm, Gamebug Prime Nathan Eaton, Pinball Airplane Archmage Chris Edler, sorry you couldn't be on this episode, Derek Pope Sandwich, Cthusiast Jeff Miners, Drinksmith Joey Webster, Sandwich Pope Phil Hawkins. I promise we'll have you on the show again someday soon, Phil. And then last but not least, Louisville correspondent Princess Consuela, Banana Hammock, Flavor Trick, Taryn Dahl. Congratulations on your marriage. Thanks as always to Dane for putting the show up on YouTube.
Thank you,
Mr.
Dane.
Puzzles, Dane S. Preston Esquire. I'm going to start doing that now. And also, once again, thanks to Brad from Arizona for the nice email that gives us a good starting point for our game segment now every week. And that's it.
Our theme song is Moves by Sycamore Drive. Link back track from the shows at TADPOG.com. How you guys want to close it out?
As Rita Repulsa?
Sure.
So until next time. Tropical Capricorn! After 10,000 years in a dumpster on the moon.
Zed, your
canon.
your no flesh penis is really turning me on.
TADPOG is hosted and produced by Tyler Holland, Dave Moore, and Ian Chandler. New episodes published Wednesdays each week and are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else podcasts are hosted. Have a question or comment for the hosts? Call us at 270-883-2555 and leave us a voicemail. If we like it, we'll play it on the show and respond. Want to send us something? You can do that at TADPOG Studios, care of Nicole Nance, P.O. Box 3785, Paducah, Kentucky 42002. If you absolutely must send us a food item, please use caution and good judgment when doing so. Tasty snacks that look or smell funky or are past their expiration date by the time we get to them will be thrown away. Bonus content is available at patreon.com/TADPOG with a minimum donation of $1 per month. You can join in on the conversation by visiting our Discord at bit.ly/TADPOG Discord. Registration is free and we'd love to see you there. Thanks for listening, and if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to our show so you don't miss an episode. Now, where did I put that stinger? Oh, here it is.
It was like the beach, you know, with the doors.
Oh, we probably saw the same one then.
And it had the 3 doors going north. And then it had, like, so it was, I thought it was really cool.
The
'cause it
path
was
they took is what I would not have expected
Yeah,
them to
same.
take. Like,
Yeah, because it goes, because it starts with.
they almost
rolling.
end up back in Tull.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
That's weird.
Yeah. Where did I see that? Fuck.
Because I was hoping to find something to show, like, wider,
Oh.
to show Gilead, Megis. Like, you get, that has, like, pointers like Gilead this way.
Right.
And I've seen one of Gilead and Megis in the outline bear, and he's like, I want to see how they all connect. And I wanted to find, because you see where Lud is, I want to know where is Dis? Dis is where, because in my
Same place as
plans,
D's.
I want to go, I want to go there. Because that's where an orb is. So I want to know where is it. I can't find it anywhere. So
It's a D&D. There's like a D&D disc, isn't there?
second layer hell.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
I was about to say, it's a plane, right?
I've
Makes
always
sense. I didn't realize it.
kind of envisioned the way that that the towns and the stuff in Midworld was lined out was similar to like a wheel, you know, like a wagon wheel where you've got, they always refer to the outer baronies And I always think of those as being in sort of like a big circle.
Yeah.
And then the inner baronies being in a
Because that
smaller
makes sense
circle.
of outer, mid, and
Yeah,
in world.
that they
Right.
sort of have their topography because they're so based on that,
Yeah.
that they're aware of the tower and the beams and all
beams,
that.
right.
Then it stands to reason that they would design their geography, their
Around
their
it because
cities
you can't help but follow the beam
in that
and be
way.
attracted to
Yeah.
it.
So if you were to like fly up over Midworld, you would see the whole thing would probably be, in my mind, would be lined up like a wagon wheel where you
Yeah.
have everything, and then like the beach kind of going around the outside of it, because you don't really necessarily know if the beach is long enough. You don't necessarily know that it's curved even slightly.
The world's flat.
Yeah, yes, it is.
and carried on the back of a turtle. Yeah. Yeah. If you just want to dig through and find Dark Tower talk, then because no songs are coming to mind.
Okay, I just recorded what we just said.
That'll work.
That's good, and it'll also get people hyped for the game.
Yeah, we're super prepared with stingers and stuff.
Oh.
This is always planned. This is all intentional. Not just some random shit I recorded and throw at the end of the episode. That would be unprofessional.
So untadpog like.